guys, welcome back to the BMG Loft, and today we're going to talk more about another set of Sadowsky strings, his Flatwounds, and I decided, what better bass than the P bass to get that classic vintage sound. I actually prefer Flatwounds on most Precision stuff. I don't do necessarily a lot of old school rock sound of stuff where you'd use the round wounds on a P bass. I do from time to time, but that's not really the main sound I'm looking for out of a P bass myself. And so I thought this would be a good opportunity because I plan on reviewing all of his strings, and this fit the bill for this. I'll go ahead and talk a little bit about this bass because I don't think I've played this bass on here, and we like talking gear if you're a nerd like me. And basically, it's a newer model Mexican standard Fender P, and I have to say, because I've had several different Mexican models throughout the years, the quality control has gotten much better. This is just a side note, since it's not really the main focus of the video, but their quality control has gotten a lot better. And with just a few tweaks, they're really a great bang for the buck. And I found a really good deal on this. It was kind of like a B stock type deal. And for new, I got it for like $365, brand new for Fender standard. That's a pretty good deal, so I couldn't pass that up. But I changed the tuning keys. I put some Hipshot HB7s on here. I got a bone nut for it and shaved it down to where I needed it to be, and just did a little tweaking to the slots. I put the Fender strap lock buttons on here, which I don't really use that style. I just think they look so much cleaner than the old, real cheap looking kind. I put the American Series knobs on it and changed it out for a Tort pick guard. I threw a 62 P bass pickup in it, and I put a Leo Quan bridge on it. And honestly, I really am very happy with for what I have in it. It really does serve its purpose well. And I've got the Fender Fat Finger on here because on the C note there, the classic G string 5th fret area issue where it's a little dead, that cures it real well, and it plays very evenly across the neck, other than just that one note right there. And the Fat Finger really does help out there. And I'm running into the Ampeg SCR-DI to get a little more of that vintage tone going here. And really, that's the entire signal chain for today. And we're here to talk about the strings. I've used Diodarios and as of late Rotosound Flatwounds for my Flatwound string of choice, and I really did like the Rotosounds. The only issue I had with them was it seemed like the windings on them were spaced more apart, and they actually, the Monel or Monel winding, whatever their thing is on their strings, feels a little more grippy than I like for Flatwounds, because Flatwounds are typically so smooth, very easy to move around. I love the tone I got from them, and they had a nice little bite to them for a Flatwound, but they weren't smooth enough for me. These have the tighter windings like I like, and it has a little less string tension. It's not like a tape wound where it's just kind of just bouncing around like on a upright, but it's got a little less tension, which I do like, and it's definitely got the feel that I like. So I knew right out of the hole I probably was going to like this string. So after playing with it a little bit, they felt good. They had a nice feel to them, sounded good, and I've really learned to really like the string, or grown, I should say, not learned, but really grown to like the string. As for me, I like having a little less tension on a flat wound string. It gives it a better, because since they're already so smooth, it makes them so easy playing, and you can really dig in and get a nice beef out of it without getting. And this again goes back to just your preference and what you're playing. You can get a real nice beefy fat tone from it digging in, but not necessarily so much that bite that you would get from a round wound. But the cool thing about this string is you still get a little bit of that bite, which typically I don't have that. I don't run into that with other flat wounds. So you kind of get that bite in there of a round wound while keeping the tone and the feel of a more traditional, what you would know as a traditional classic sounding flat wound. So we'll just play through a few examples, and I'll roll the tone on and off and play a little bit all over the board and let you hear what these things sound like. I'm gonna go ahead and mute the vocal mic real quick. And there, as you can hear, you really get that classic tone that you would expect from a flat wound. But again, and in this case, you're just hearing the tone, but the feel is there. The feel is very nice. It's very smooth. There's no hardly next to no noise when you slide. It just has that classic feel. But I like the fact that it has a little more of that bitey bitiness to it of a round wound in the top end of that tone. Again, not completely. And there's a little bit of that mid range that's not there, which it's just that's part of the product of what you get with a flat wound. But it's got a little bit more there than the traditional strings, but all the traditional aspects are still there of the flat wound. And again, I like the tension on this. I'm more of a lower tension kind of. I don't like them bouncing all over the place, but I'm not crazy about really, really tense strings. To me, they tend to be over bright. And again, there's situations for that, and it's all taste of what you prefer. You may like the feel of them better. Certainly for slap, there's you can tend to get more pop and zing out of a higher tension string. But for me, my more overall preference is a lower tension string for the vast majority of what I do personally. So again, like with the stainless steels, those are definitely my slap string of choice, and these are definitely going to be my P bass and certain fretless types stuff. I'll be using these because I really like the combination of feel, tone, and tension on these. They're right where I like them. So I'm excited to keep trying these out and digging in with them and get them on a few more sessions. And I really, really dig them. So if you guys are looking for a good flat wound, and again, I'm in no way, I hope to be endorsed by them, but that'd be awesome. But these are strictly unbiased reviews right now because I just love everything Sadowsky does. I think they approach everything that they do with just being immaculate about everything they do, just making it as perfect can be. And lots of thorough research. He's been doing it a long time, and from the get go, he's never accepted anything but the best. And I hope you could say that a lot of about other companies in that regard. But sometimes I think I was watching a video of Stephen Bailey talk about. He's like, I just accepted the fact that I thought this is how long it took to get a good bass when he was talking about working with a certain manufacturer about developing what he wanted, and it just seemed like it took forever and was never really happy with the results. I mean, it was, it was a solid instrument, just not exactly what he was looking for. Well, that's I feel the same way about Sadowsky. It's just whatever he does, he gets it done, and there's no limit to the possibilities of uh, what he sees, and that goes for everything he does, including strings, because a lot of people manufacture their own strings. A lot of companies do, and they're just basically repackaged strings through whoever they get to design it. Which, I mean, you're gonna have to do that. You're gonna have to. I mean, unless you want to literally start your own string company on site, and you would subcontract it, but typically they just repack. Oh well, we like such and such string. Let's just make this design. He really takes the time to formulate this stuff to his what he thinks is best, and does lots of research, sends out lots of prototypes, and gets lots of feedback from the players, and that's the biggest difference. Sending these out to real world musicians, getting that feedback. So, he does that with everything he does. That's what makes me such a firm believer in what he does, because he listens to the artist and the musician, and then you combine that with the talent that he has and the gift he's been given. It makes for uh, an immaculate product. So I highly suggest you try it out if you're looking for a good set of flatwound strings. That was a long answer to say go check it out, but yeah, check them out. And if you have any questions or concerns, please comment below. I'm happy to help in any way that I can. And if you liked this, please like, share, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And until next time, guys, keep it grooving.